Good morning. I'm Reverend Karen Lewis. I am one of the senior ministers here at the New Vision Center, and it is my joy to welcome you on this chilly morning. It's chilly out there. Yes. And we, Reverend Leslie and I, we are so looking forward to deepening into the nature of God, which is our first season as we explore our new annual theme, which is grounded in love and growing in grace. So thank you, because each one of you who was part of the survey, who answered that survey, is part of bringing that theme forward. So thank you. Before I start, I would like to invite everybody who is willing and able to please stand. Also, all the people at home, please rise. If you're not able to stand, just lift your spine out. Just lift it up. We're going to start off with having 3 claps. The first clap is going to be to let go of everything we thought we should have done in 2019. Actually, I want you to put all of that into one clap on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes! The second clap. The second clap is to open ourselves up to receiving that which we came here for, which is different for everyone. To come into the place of willingness to accept, to receive, to open up. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And the third clap is an agreement that you make with yourself that if there's something that inspires you to do, if you hear this voice within that says, oh, I'm going to take that class. I am going to talk to a practitioner. I am going to read that book. I'm inspired by that quote. I want to get to know that person. Whatever it is, if you clap this third time, you are saying yes to your inner voice. I will follow up with action. Only clap if you're willing. 1, 2, 3. You're ready. Sit down. Wonderful. I so hope that those who are joining us at home participated in that, because that was juicy. The science of mind, our teaching. Last week, Reverend Leslie did a fabulous job really introducing us to how we, as religious scientists, look at God. She had this wonderful slide that depicted it beautifully. God is everywhere. Everywhere. And I loved how she said that she would be using the word God a lot, and if that is a trigger, to please translate it into that word that makes sense for you. It might be source, divine spirit, first cause, love. Whatever word works for you, just change it in your mind. But know that whatever that is greater than we are is everywhere present. There's no exception. It is within and all around us. And so then this week we are going to step into, well, if that is the case, then how can I apply this knowingness, this belief in my life and have my life work better, easier, more successfully, more joyfully? And so that is the journey we are on today. We're going to look at 3 different things. First, we're going to talk a little bit about that science of mind is really a practical spirituality. And then I'm going to make an argument to not believe everything you think. And lastly, let's take a look at how we can take this power and do good in the world, in our world and in the world around us. So that is where we're going. You ready? Yes, we are. Yeah. So Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of this fabulous teaching, was asked in 1927, what is it that science of mind, what is science of mind? And at that time, this religion was called religious science. Religious science. You can imagine there was a little bit of a thingy with that. Yeah. So he was asked, what is this teaching? And give it to us in 25 words or less. You know, we just want the elevator speech. Just give us the elevator pitch. And so this is what he came up with. He says, science of mind is a correlation of the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, and the revelations of religions applied to human needs and the aspiration of mankind. Now, when we see the laws of science, what that means is we do not fight with science. We are interested in new developments in science. We are bringing them into our teaching. Opinions of philosophy means we are looking for wisdom everywhere. In the olden days, with the great big Greek philosophers, all philosophers, and also now, who is wise? Who's having something that we can incorporate, that we can accept? And the revelations of religions, that we take that to mean this golden thread that goes through all religions. Now, one more thing I want to say. I found out, and I found this interesting, that science, the word science, was actually used, especially in the 1920s, a lot to mean practical. Yeah, I was surprised about that. So now when I take a look and I see religious science, I might think a practical application of science. And when we hear the term science of mind, we might think practical psychology. And when we hear the science of spirit, that says practical spirituality to me. And that is what we are. We are practical spirituality. Now, people come to this teaching because of all different reasons, and I suspect that every one of you who is here, who came here by your own will, though not the ones who were dragged here, I don't know. That's probably the love of the person that dragged you here, sir. But everyone who came here falls somewhere on this great continuum, where on one side, we might call it love. It is those of us who resonate with the pauses. Those of us who feel the presence. Those of us who are reminded every Sunday, or when we go back into the archives and listen to these talks, we are reminded that who we are is whole, perfect, and complete. And that transmission happens through osmosis, not through brilliant words. You know this because you feel the truth. It resonates in the center of your being. On the other end of the spectrum, we might think about it as the law. The people who are very interested in understanding how do I take these tools and apply them in my life and manifest the life that I want to live. It's a very reliable science. And I suspect most of us are probably somewhere in between, right? We come here or to something like this that reminds us of who we truly are. And when we forget, we might lean more into, okay, so how does that work? The good news is that regardless where you find yourself on this continuum, the way to change our life is the same solution for everyone. Isn't that great? One solution. And I gave it a little bit away with the talk title today. I know. Afterwards, I thought I should have not done that. But it is the power of our thought. That is how we change our lives. It is not the rearranging of the deck chairs of the Titanic, but giving our life, which we have dominion over, a new direction, a more favorable direction for what it is that we want to achieve, that we want to bring forth in this world, who we want to be. Now, science tells us that everybody has about 60,000 thoughts a day. No wonder we're tired. That's a lot. Most of those are just random thoughts. They're things to, handle stuff and things like that. But if we take the time and lift us up into a higher vista and take a look at our thought patterns, we might come across some thoughts that are repeated. And if those thoughts that we repeat are negative thoughts, they make a pathway that it's easy to fall back on. And then we walk down that pathway and we are saying, this is how it is. When in truth, it's not. But our thought patterns have us believe that it is so. And that is why I say, don't believe everything you think. Don't believe everything you think. Especially those thoughts that are limiting. Don't. I know someone who doesn't have that problem. This is my granddaughter. She has not spent a moment in her life wondering if she might be a little too chubby, or maybe she shouldn't be wearing this outfit because who knows what people are thinking, or anything like that. She does not think, I made the same mistake again, I'm so stupid. No. She doesn't think, I don't get things done in a timely fashion, I'm such a procrastinator. No. I believe that the little ones are our teachers. Find a little one in your life. If your grandkids are not around, or if there are no grandkids, find some kids. The kids are needing us, and we need them, because they remind us of what's true. Every day she wakes up, and she knows that she's the gift to the world. Those are the thoughts we want to believe. Those are the thoughts that will change our life. Wayne Dyer says, choose to avoid thoughts that weaken you, and you will know true wisdom. It is your choice. It is your choice. How often do we really feel like we are a choice? Well, a way to help us to get there is what Eckhart Tolle talks about in A New Earth. He says, never, ever, ever should you put I am in front of something negative. Rather, if you have a thought, oh, I'm such a procrastinator, change it to why can I not get the things done in a timely fashion? Or when your thought is, I am wounded, change it to, I feel wounded. Put in there, I feel. And then come in with an inquiry. Why do I feel wounded? Why did what that person just said to me, why did that hurt me? Why did that trigger me? You see, we want to put a buffer in there because our thoughts of I am something negative, they run amok in our mind. And unless we are willing to stop and listen to the things that we are saying, it is very hard to change the outer experience of what we're having. Ask yourself, do I believe that? Don't believe it because I say it. Don't believe it because there are some cool memes and quotes. Really ask yourself, do I believe that my thoughts have the power to change my life? And how might you support yourself if you're not 100% sure? Well, showing up to a community like this, being in conversations with people you like and maybe not like, being willing to question, is this what I want to think? Is this thought really supporting me? Does this thought allow me to come more fully into the life that I want to live? And only once you have come to the place where you recognize, I want to change something, take a look around. Participate in the morning meditation. Sign up for the class. Stretch yourself. This teaching gives us the tools, but you know who has to apply it. You know who has to pick up the tool and do it. There's the big mirror, right? It's always the person we see in the mirror. Darn it, I know. Yeah. Some people would like to have someone else do the work and then just send me the benefits. Yeah. It is us. It is us who are called to do this work. So before I'm going to end today's message with a beautiful quote by Dr. Ernest Holmes, I thought it would be good at this time to share the invitations with you. Interrupt your habitual thoughts. Every time when you feel yourself thinking the same thing over and over and over, interrupt them with music, with dancing, with laughing, with whatever. Go for a walk in the desert, call a beloved. Interrupt those cycles. 2, Change your own labels. Do not allow your thoughts anymore to label yourself anything negative. Can I get an agreement on that one? Yes. And you know it's not easy, right? We have a tendency to do that, to tear ourselves down in the privacy of our own mind. And I say, let's stop it. Let's just do away with it. Yeah. And the third invitation is to reframe our thoughts and our intentions. So wherever you find yourself on that continuum of feeling this teaching, of really being inspired by the depth of the stillness, or if you're inspired by the logic, by the science behind it, my hope is that you are willing to change your thoughts. That after every service, after every day, at the end of your life, you say, I'm so glad I came. I am so glad I came. And I'm going to close with this beautiful reading on the very first page, this powerful book, 365, The Science of Mind. Open yourselves up to listen to this. New arts, new sciences, new philosophies, better government, and a higher civilization wait on our thoughts. The infinite energy of life and the possibility of our future evolution work through our imagination and will. The time is ready, the place is where we are now, and it is done unto all as they really believe and act. That is the invitation. A willingness to stand for what we believe and to walk it out, every step, every thought at a time. I am so glad you're on this journey with me. And so let us anchor this truth by one of the wonderful tools that we have in this teaching, a spiritual mind treatment. And I invite all of the practitioners of this teaching, all the ministers, to rise and stand with me, to hold the consciousness, the deep knowingness that there is one power, one presence, that the divine is everywhere, and so it is within me. As I know that this is the truth of myself, I know that this is the truth of every person, everywhere. The beloveds I know and the beloveds I do not know. And so as we breathe into that deep knowingness, we allow the vibration of love, of peace, of harmony, the vibration of the divine to heal every cell of our body. As we lean into that which is greater than we are, we feel comforted, accepted, loved. And we know that who I am is enough. It is welcome and it is celebrated. And so it is from this deep place of knowingness that I bless all of the prayer requests that have been brought forth. In the prayer box out in the lobby, the unspoken ones on our hearts. Just raise up every person, everything, to the light of the divine. how grateful I am. How very, very grateful to know this truth, to be so supported by this internal loving kindness, internal gracious givingness of the divine. Thank you, life. I let it be. I let it go. And so it is.